Am I the a-hole for refusing to attend my best friend's wedding after she replaced me as maid of honor because I'm too fat, I'm pregnant, and asking her to pay me back for everything? I don't even need to read the story to answer the question. A few days ago, she sat me down and told me she didn't want me in the wedding anymore. Her reason? I'm getting too fat, and she doesn't want me in the pictures. She said she has a specific vision for her wedding, and I no longer fit it. I was devastated. I asked if this was about my pregnancy, but she insisted it wasn't personal. She said she was replacing me as maid of honor with another friend who fit her aesthetic. What's good, everyone? Welcome back to my channel. It's Tiara, and for those who are new, welcome. So today is Reddit Wednesday. For those who don't know, on Wednesdays I like to read Reddit stories on various topics. It's a new series I started, and so far I've been having fun. You guys told me you like the series, so we're gonna keep going with it. So today we're gonna be reading Am I the A-hole stories, and the topic is gonna be on best friends. Well, in this case, evil best friends. Y'all know I don't like to make my intros too long, so let's get straight into the video. Am I the a-hole for telling my best friend I love him on his wedding night? Yes. Straight up, you are. I just know by some of these titles, I don't even need to read the whole story to know if you are or you're not. This story is gonna have to be magical for me to think that you're not the a-hole. But let's read. Last December, my 28 female best friend, 32 male, married his girlfriend, 30 female, of 2 years. I think what she's trying to say is that she's 28 years old, the best friend is 32 male, and he's marrying his girlfriend, who's 30 female. I just wanna make sure we're on the same page. They had a beautiful white tie garden wedding at a nice estate. I've known my best friend since childhood. We used to spend every second together. We went to the same elementary and high school and only lived a few doors down from each other. We kept talking when he went to university, but stopped talking for about 4 years when I went and made different friends. But eventually we both found jobs in our hometown and reconnected. I've always thought my best friend was attractive, but I never made a move because I'm more of a traditional person and he never asked. We both went to prom with different people, dated different people in college, etc. We never kissed or had any other physicality. So far, even though you had a crush on the man, it seems like the relationship was platonic. You said nothing physical happened and he never even told you that he liked you or asked you out. So I'm gonna assume that you just bottled up your feelings and that's it. I do feel like setting the foundation is very important, especially if you're asking if you're the a-hole in a situation like this. So fast forward to his wedding night. The whole thing felt wrong to me. I ended up liking his now wife, but during the period in which they were dating and engaged, I still hung out with my best friend all the time. We'd go stargazing, hiking, etc. But there was never any romantic subtext to it. Here's just my biased opinion. If you were already friends with a man before the relationship and his now wife came into the relationship and she was okay with you guys maintaining a relationship as far as activities go, then that's none of my business. That seems like it was all mutually agreed upon. I do understand in some situations boundaries do need to be set. Yeah, you guys are friends or whatnot, but some people are not okay with one-on-one activities. So if she was okay with you guys hiking, stargazing, okay. But at the same time, she cannot be okay with it and not communicate it with the husband, or she did tell him and he didn't really care and that was also his decision. So there's just so many factors to this, but right now what I'm gonna assume is that everyone mutually agreed that this is okay. The reason why I say all that is because initially I do find it a little interesting that y'all are stargazing when he's in a whole full-blown relationship. Either coming with y'all or we're gonna have to figure something out, because stargazing? On the night of the wedding, I asked one of my other friends what I should do, and she recommended that I tell him my feelings before the wedding. She said I would regret it forever if I didn't. I realized this was true. Ew. I gotta be honest, I think this is coming from a selfish place. You knew all along that you had a crush on this man. You said you always found him attractive, but you never made a move. So for you to wait till the day of the wedding to tell him because you're gonna regret it, it's just selfish. And then also it just puts everyone in an awkward position. You had all this time to tell this man that you liked him. I didn't get a chance to talk to him before the ceremony, but afterwards I managed to pull him aside and tell him that I've loved him forever. He started to cry and told me to leave. Girl, that's what you get. Girl, what were you thinking? I already have some sideways feelings about your friend that told you that was a good idea to begin with. That was not a good idea. And I think he did the right thing to make you leave because that is so disrespectful. Not only to your friend, but his wife. I've only spoken to him once since last December when he texted me to make sure I was fine considering the current plague. Am I the a-hole? If I am, please help me resolve this. I really miss my best friend. Yeah, you are. I'm sorry. Like, I don't know what else to say. That's crazy. I think I would quite literally lose my mind as a wife if that happened to me on my wedding day. I guess it was nice that he reached out to see how you're doing, but I honestly don't know how this can get resolved. Some people are very kind and some people will give the second chances, but if there is any room for resolution in the situation, situation, I would have a conversation probably either with the wife or both of them at the same time. This is just the time for accountability because what you did was wrong. Hopefully you don't try to explain why you had to do it and the whole regret situation. That's not gonna make anything better in my opinion if you haven't talked to them already. If you want any kind of chance of mending that relationship with your friend, you gotta get things right with the wife. Am I the a-hole for uninviting my best friend to my wedding because she kept telling people she dated my fiance first? Izzy, 27 female, and I, 26 female, have been friends since we were born. We were practically raised together. We were closer in college, but after that, we've been drifting apart a little, but I still had a strong bond with her up until recently. She has been there for me a lot, and I have too, so it's tough, the situation. After college, when Izzy was like 23, she went on a few dates with Jake, my fiance, but then told him she wasn't interested in anything serious. Even though I was her best friend, I didn't really know Jake because she used to get asked out a lot, but only a few turned serious. So I knew about her boyfriends, but not necessarily her dates. Almost a year after that, I moved in with Izzy, so we got close again. It was after this that I met Jake. We quickly became good friends. I used to talk about him to Izzy a lot, but it's when I showed her his picture that she recognized him and told me about her dates with him. Okay, now I have more clarity. At first I thought you knew Jake as in if you saw him on the side of the street, you would recognize that that's your best friend's ex, but not really know him. I'm not a big fan of dating the same people that my friends date, let alone my best friend. So I was kind of squinting my eyes a little bit like, girl, why are we sharing people? That's weird. But now I know you were very literal when you meant I do not know this man. Friendships were more important to me than any guy back then. So I asked her if it was okay to date him because I liked him a lot. She said she had no problem and joked about it, even turning into a relationship, which I took as a joke. I think it's very mature and respectful that you asked the best friend because it could have went sideways real quick. Jake and I became serious very quick. He is my soulmate. By then though, Izzy and I lost touch a bit since I moved in with Jake, and work became more of a priority. Right until I got engaged, she used to still joke to both me and Jake that she didn't think we would be this into each other. And at that time, I saw it as funny because Jake is the opposite of me. After I got engaged, she became very weird. She was very shocked and would not believe it. Then later she used to tell me I'm too young to be married and if I'm sure. But I saw this as just concern. Although she agreed to be my maid of honor along with my sister. It's giving hater vibes. Why are you hating from outside the club? You said you're what, 26 years old? I don't think that's too old. So it seems like she's trying to come up with a reason for you not to get married. If she considers you as best friend, that shouldn't even be her concern. Girl, live your life. Afterwards, I posted on my Instagram about our engagement and people were reposting it and congratulating us. But Izzy just captioned it saying, "You better mention me in your vows because he was into me first." She put that on a public comment section? That is not your friend. She's already hating behind the scenes, saying you're too young, this and that. But the comment section? Oh, she's showing her true colors. Jake felt very uncomfortable, and so did I, but I defended her saying that it's just Izzy. She jokes around a lot, but I still let her know that it was a bit uncomfortable and she said that she was just joking. She's not respecting your feelings. The fact that you told her that you're uncomfortable and her response is, "I'm just joking," is just her invalidating you. The least she could have done was apologize. After Christmas, we hosted a dinner party and that day, Izzy just kept telling all the friends and family gathered that Jake dated her first. She let me have him, stuff like that. Even after telling her it was not okay, she joked around. Later, I told her that she was crossing my boundaries and that it was not okay, to which she said I was overreacting. In the end, I told her not to attend my wedding at all. Period, bravo, voila. I am just so happy that you recognize that as her crossing your boundaries because that's all I could think about. For her to tell you that you're overreacting, she's gotta go. She's gotta go! I think it was an excellent idea to not have her at the wedding. Because if she's doing all this before, oh, I don't even want to see what she has planned. I have been overthinking a lot after that. Right now, people who know about this are just choosing sides based on who they know more. I'm worried I'm ruining a lifelong friendship when I'm not even right. What if to her it really was a joke and I'm not being understanding? But she is not being supportive or positive, which I think is unfair. I'm confused. Girl, you are not the a-hole. You're not overthinking. No, I think you had your head on your shoulders and I think you made the right decision. I don't think she's a true friend. This is one of those situations where you shouldn't even have to tell her that that's not okay. It's common sense. But we all know common sense is not always common. And I wouldn't even worry about people who are taking her side. If people are taking her side, they don't really have you in their best interest. They don't need to be at your wedding, girl. Am I the a-hole for refusing to help my best friend with her wedding because she didn't make me a bridesmaid? My best friend, 24 female, we'll call her May, and I, 24 female, have been close since middle school. We've talked about being in each other's weddings, so when she got engaged last year, I assumed I'd be a bridesmaid. She recently asked me to help with the wedding planning, but when she showed me the list for her bridal party, I wasn't on the list. I asked why, and she got awkward and said she had to make some choices. The party included her sister, her fiance's sister, and a few newer friends she's known for a couple of years. She wanted a small party. This is tricky because you guys have been friends since middle school. I am curious what your relationship looks like. Are you guys besties, or you just happen to be friends since middle school and you check in here and there? That's a big factor. On the other hand, I understand completely when brides want to have a small party, but I can't understand why you would be offended for not being a part of the bridal party because you're her best friend. The whole purpose of being a bridesmaid or a maid of honor is to help the bride with the wedding. So for her to not put you in the bridal party and then expect you to help her wedding plan is kind of crazy. I didn't want to make a big deal though. I congratulated her and figured I'd still be a guest. But then she started asking me for a lot of help. Things like dress shopping, DIY decorations, venue hunting, making party favors, etc., etc. That's too much. It's one thing if she decided that she just does not want a bridal party, but you have a bridal party, so use them. Your friend made a conscious choice to make a tight-knit community, so she needs to rely on them. I finally told her, hey, I love you, but I feel weird doing all of this when I'm not even a bridesmaid. She got angry and said she thought I'd still want to be involved because we're best friends. I told her I'd still be at the wedding, but I wasn't going to do all this extra work when she didn't even consider me close enough to be at her bridal party. Now she and some of our mutual friends are giving me the cold shoulder, saying I'm being petty and making the wedding about me. But I'm not going to be doing bridesmaid level work if I'm not one. Am I the a-hole? I don't think you're the a-hole. Your friend needs to get over it. The bridesmaids need to get over it. I don't even know why the bridesmaids are yapping. You shouldn't be doing all that if you're not the bridesmaid. She is purposely excluding you out of one of the most important moments of her life. She can cry about it. Am I the a-hole for refusing to attend my best friend's wedding after she replaced me as maid of honor because I'm too fat, I'm pregnant, and asking her to pay me back for everything? I don't even need to read the story to answer the question. I, 27 female, have been best friends with Claire, 28 female, since high school. When she asked me to be her maid of honor, I was thrilled and went all out to make her wedding special. I paid for the bridal shower, bachelorette party, a weekend trip, decorations, and other expenses, spending several $1,000s. Wow. You are a trooper. I know everyone's system is different when it comes to a wedding, but the fact that you as a maid of honor took it upon yourself to provide all of that is so generous. While it was a lot of money for my husband and me, I wanted to make her big day perfect because she's like family to me. 2 months ago, I shared that I'm 4 months pregnant. Claire congratulated me, but started acting distant afterward. She excluded me from conversations about the wedding and made passive comments about how hard it is to coordinate when people are distracted. I brushed it off thinking it was a wedding stress. I think that's weird. You can't stop your life for her. Girl, you got a life too. Congrats, by the way. A few days ago, she sat me down and told me she didn't want me in the wedding anymore. Her reason? I'm getting too fat, and she doesn't want me in the pictures. She said she has a specific vision for her wedding, and I no longer fit it. I was devastated. I asked if this was about my pregnancy, but she insisted it wasn't personal. She said she was replacing me as maid of honor with another friend who fit her aesthetic. As bad as this is, I would have to see this as a blessing in disguise because you're about to launch into a whole new era in your life. You're about to be a mom. You're married. You do not need people like this in your life. Oh my gosh, it's giving hater. An aesthetic? You've got to be kidding me. Everything that you've done to make sure that she has a perfect wedding date and she's going to come back saying that you don't fit the aesthetic. This is why it's so hard for people to keep friends these days because they're too focused on the superficial. I don't think anyone should go through that. You got to take out some of those weeds, girl. I told her that if I wasn't in the wedding, I wouldn't attend at all. I also handed her the receipts for everything I paid for and told her she or her fiance needed to reimburse me since I'd only spend that money as her maid of honor. Claire flipped out, calling me selfish and accusing me of trying to ruin her wedding. She said that it was tacky to ask for the money back and that expenses like these were my responsibility as maid of honor. You just got fired, so that's not your responsibility. It honestly never was. I reminded her that she removed me from that role, so those expenses were no longer mine. Since then, Claire, her fiance, and even her family have been spamming me with calls and texts. They're accusing me of being petty and overreacting because of pregnancy, hormones. Oh my gosh, the gaslighting is insane. There's really not much to talk about. You and I already know what the situation is. If you're not gonna be in the wedding, you don't need to be a part of the wedding. You don't need to spend money for the wedding. Her and her fiance and her family can get over it. They are so entitled, it's crazy. They're also saying I should have just let it go and written off the money because weddings are stressful and Claire didn't mean to hurt me. They don't need to tell you what to do with your money. Don't even need to worry about them. They're an extra stress to you. You don't need that extra stress. You got a baby to take care of. And Claire did mean to hurt you because who in their right mind says something like that and doesn't mean to hurt you? What are we in middle school? My husband has been incredibly supportive and says I did the right thing. He's furious at how Claire treated me and agrees that I shouldn't be out thousands of dollars for a wedding I'm not a part of. I feel heartbroken and humiliated by someone I thought was my best friend. Still, the constant backlash has made me second guess myself. Am I the a-hole for standing up for myself myself and asking for reimbursement, should I have just quietly stepped aside? Girl, you are not the a-hole. I think you should have done it loud and proud the way you did, because someone needs to show them that what they're doing is not okay. And if she had the audacity to do something like that to her best friend, I can't even imagine how she treats other people. I'm also very happy that you have a supportive husband, because I would be brokenhearted myself. I would say you're handling it with grace. Given everything that you're going through right now on top of this, you're a lot better than most people. But that's gonna be the end of today's video. I wanna thank each and every one of you guys for joining, for tuning in. For anyone who is new to this channel, who's new to the YouTube crew, welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm so happy to have you guys here, and I'm so excited to grow the community here on YouTube. But aside from that, I hope you guys have a great rest of your week. I'll see you on the flip side. T is out.